The worst draw you will ever see. So they go knight here to f3, I go pawn to e6, pawn to c4, then pawn here to d5. They go e3, I go knight here to f6, and knight goes to c3. All pretty normal stuff so far. I don't usually play e3 too often, but I've seen it before, so I feel pretty comfortable. I go pawn to c6, they go pawn here to e4. The last book move, I played this a7 times, so in comparison to some moves I played over 1,000, not even 100. As I said, not the most common, but I've seen it enough. I go pawn to b6, they go bishop here to e2, bishop to e7, they castle, I castle, and pawn here to b3. I love playing opens like this. I love closed positions. Again, I'm feeling very comfortable and confident, and that's a very good thing when you're playing chess if you know what you're doing. Because the eval bar, while it isn't my favorite in their favor right now, I feel comfortable enough where it doesn't matter. I go bishop to b7, they go bishop to b2, knight b to d7, rook here to c1, and then rook here to c8. Both of us are just doing what we're supposed to do, getting our soldiers ready for war, so to speak. We're lining up everything for a foreign attack. They go pawn to h3, I go pawn to c5. We have a exchange here. Knight goes here to b5 to attack my weakness on a7. I push forward and they drop back. Again, feeling pretty good. I still don't have an issue with the position. I like my rook placement, like my piece placement. I think I have some nice activity. I take this pawn. They take with the pawn back. They didn't take with the rook. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe they didn't like that I could go b5 and have a quick initiative afterwards. But they do create a weakness here with this isolated pawn. I go queen here to c7. They drop their knight back. And I go rook here to d8. And this is where I start to realize I can win the game. They go queen e1. I take this knight. They mess up and I take their bishop here. The problem with their position is, so if you look at the board right now, I'm up a minor piece, so that's very important. Whatever they do, they have to try and get back a minor piece to get equal material. The knight is a6, and after queen at a7, if they do take my bishop, I can take their knight, and again, even though my bishop's hanging, they have a piece hanging too. They take, I take, and I get up a knight. Now you may wonder how I don't win. Unfortunately, because I'm on my phone, you can't see the time difference, and I took a lot of time to get to this point and to the conversion. So I go queen x a2, they go rook forward, I go queen here to b3, pawn pushes forward, and knight here. Now this is where a lot of the time, I did spend some time here, but before to get to this point, but at this point as well, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how not to lose, because I do have a nice attack. If you look at it, these pawns run down the board, this bishop's staring in. I don't love my position outside of the fact that I'm up material. They go pawn here, bishop back to f6. I trade the bishops off, and I get to a position that's a little bit easier to win. I offer a queen trade, they accept. Now it's about converting. A pawn forward, here's cementing. I take the pawn, and we trade down, but again, it took too long here, and I don't remember the timestamp exactly, but I'm down a pretty hefty amount if I remember correctly. I go knight to d5, I slide here, and I'm playing great chess, honestly. My accuracy is pretty high. I'll check it after the game, but after f6, they can't go forward that much. I'm bringing my knight here, sliding around, and boom, I finally figure out a way to go about it. I'm going to bring my knight around and take all their pawns, but it just ends up being a little too slow. We give a check, and I run